Hey guys, welcome back to a new video on the channel. My name is Jack.F. I'm a freelance videographer, photographer and video editor, producing weekly content helping you take your video editing and videography to the next level. So if that's something you are interested in, stay tuned and subscribe to the channel. So ladies and gentlemen, I've got a brand new video for you today. It's a very special episode on the channel. This is an in-field breakdown of a live client. This has been a request for quite, about a year or so on the channel now, about 12 months. A lot of you have been asking me. I teach how to get clients and I teach you how to, actually go out and shoot the video. But what's it like actually discussing getting on a call with a client? And if you think you can just not have a call with a client before you actually go shoot the video, you are mistaken, my friends. You need to actually get on a call with a client and actually understand what they want and go through the entire brief. So prior to this, I asked him for a brief. He sent me a Word document, a Google document, and I got a general idea of what he was looking for. But I got on a call with him, or it could be Zoom, could be Google Meets, whatever. I like to use Google Meets personally, but I'm going to leave a link to this video down in the description below without me rambling and talking all over and dissecting it. So if you want to see the video in its entire length without me talking over it, click the link in the description. It'll be there. You can go watch it. So without further ado, let's jump straight into this. And I just want to preface this by saying I've met James before. I've done some videos with him before, so I already knew him. If this is a client that you don't know already, spend 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes getting to know them, like asking them, basic small talk question. Oh, how you doing? How long have you been doing what you've been doing? Say, you're in construction. How long have you been in the construction industry? Just make general small talk and actually, don't have to go straight into client, oh my God, brief mode. What do you want? Get to know them. But if time is of the essence, then kind of hurry it up a little bit. But what I like to do before jumping straight into the brief with them, I like to talk to them for a while, make them feel at ease. That's just a little tip. Jumping straight into this, we've already talked about the brief a little bit, and I've just spent 2 minutes talking to him. So there you go. How have things been?
Mac, I'll send you a link now to YouTube. I'm not suggesting that I'd like to make an exact copy of this, but in case you're like, shit, that's a load of production to do. But
that's a key point actually. I normally move the topic on, okay, so what are you looking for here, but he's actually moved it on for me. He's talking about his inspirations, so just move it on. If they don't move it on, just move it on easily. So what are you looking for in this video, I got a general idea of the brief you sent me, but let's jump straight into this, and then they'll send you some links or something. So here he's telling me what he's looking for. He sent through a link. He previously didn't send any links through. Here I'm getting an idea of what he's looking for. I always get them to send examples.
Okay, so I get the idea. How long do you want it to be? About 45 seconds.
This is a key message that I ask him. How long do you want the video to run for? That's very specific because that's going to affect how much you're going to want to work for and stuff, how much work you're going to have to put in. So depending on how long they want the actual video to be will determine how much you get paid. Make sure you ask that, before or during the client call. That's a very important question to ask. How long do you want the video to run for? The running length or the total deliverables?
Enough for 45 minutes of me.
45 seconds. Yeah, so
that's another key point. I accidentally slip up. I actually say 45 seconds instead of 45 minutes. Just make a joke out of it. It's not the end of the world. I see some videographers send me some clips of them, actually kind of like on a client call, and they get pop like, oh my God, stiff, oh, I didn't mean to say that. It's no big deal, bro. They're just a human like you. Everybody makes mistakes. Just brush it off and make a joke out of it. It's not the end of the world. If you make a mistake, it's not a big deal. Just move on.
That's where I suppose it depends how much content we get, I guess. So I wrote, like, this one is 23 minutes, so I suppose like half an hour to 45 minutes I was like the pilot, the trial, just to see how it is basically initially. But yeah.
Okay, that is definitely doable. I like doing these sort of like kind of documentary behind the scenes if you can find on TikTok.
Yeah,
and they do really well. They do really well.
You always want value to the client. Here, I give him some value. You're the subject matter expert. You don't want to be coming in, okay, yeah, I can do that. You're coming in there being the subject matter expert. They're hiring you for a specific problem or subject that they want, something that they want to film. You are being hired as a professional. Act like a professional. Don't act like a proper amateur. If this is like one of your first clients, act professional. Fake it till you make it, as I said. You know more than them. This is your job. You are the videographer, you are the photographer, you're the video editor, whatever you want to say. Act like expert that you are and talk and provide value. If you can provide more value than you're being paid for, you're probably going to have a repeat customer. Because I did repeat business with him, because I gave him more value, I've worked with James on a couple more gigs, and it's probably like the 3rd or 4th gig that I've worked with him on. So provide more value. Here I talk about TikTok. If I film this for him, he can then take it and boost it on other social medias to expand and get more money from this video.
Like restaurants and stuff. And then you can use that as short form content. Like if I do this for you, you'll have probably like 200 short raw clips you can bang on TikTok.
Yeah,
And they do
exactly.
really well. They do really well. Like the certain peaks, they
Yeah,
gone off.
yeah. That Word document is basically.
Provide more value than what you're being paid for. So you there, provide value. Put this on TikTok, can estimate probably a couple hundred because it's a 45-minute video that I'm doing for him. It's a high budget client, so you don't want to mess up. You want to provide value and just, be real with them. Don't try and sell them some sort of very la la land. Or if I make a 2-minute video for you, you're gonna have thousands of raw clips. No, you're not. Be real with them. Set the expectations with the client so they're not gonna be like, oh, but you promised me that in the client meeting, but you've under-delivered. You don't want to be in that situation, so provide more than what you're being paid for. And then here he's linking me to a brief that he sent me before. I only had a couple of looks at it, so we're going through the brief that he sent. This is just a general idea stage, there's nothing set in stone, so he's just talking about what he's looking for. So as you can see, a good client will break it down what they're looking for. He's looking for a 45-minute to 1 hour long episode of behind the scenes of what it's like to be a DJ in the music industry. Where it's going to be published, these are questions I would ask, but he's already, put it in target audience. If they talk about a target audience, or if they talk about something that's very vague, ask them to explain, going deep. See here, this could be 18-year-old bedroom producers. What I do later on is I want to know who he's actually wanting to target with this. Is it male, female, what gender, what ethnicity? That's going to affect the production and editing style that I use and go with as a videographer. Dive deep into these questions. Don't let them just gloss over the details. I get in there, you're a reminder. Dig down into the actual until you find the yours.
While kind of behind the scenes in the field with a bit of kind of shows implemented into it, kind of just exactly like this a little bit.
Yeah.
Another key question, the editing style. What are they actually looking for? They want a more kind of talking head video like this. Are they looking for cutaways, time lapses? What are they looking for? So link it back to them. Just ask them questions. If you're an introvert, you're going to excel with this because all we do is ask questions. Ask them a ton of questions, but ask them the right questions. Ask them, what's your budget? How long do you want the video to run for? What's the total deliverables? All that sort of stuff.
Basically like that. So I'm actually doing a presenting course because I can blag a certain amount, but not presenting. So
Yeah.
I'm doing a presenting course in sort of April, but
Okay.
it depends. Like I don't know. I'd be happy to do something before then. You know what I mean?
So here I've asked him, the time scale. When are we going thinking about filming? Is there anything else that might affect production time? Here I actually revealed that he's taking a presenting course. He's doing it in April, so this is going to be a long-term project. It's not going to be a short-term one, kind of film it within a couple of days, maybe a week. This is over a span of 3-4 months. This is a long-term project. Ask them again, the length of the project, how long can you expect? When's the deadline for this? That sort of stuff.
But I think it should be in the schedule of the DJ. But it's an open book so far.
I mean, I've got I do nightclubs. So I've got a boatload of content we can use for B-roll.
There, again, more value. See if you can cut the amount of time down you're going to be filming. If you can reduce the amount of time and the amount of money they're spending on you, the better, the more they're going to love you, the more they're going to want to work with you. Here, again, I provide more value. I shoot nightclubs for a living. I've got a ton of nightclub content, B-roll, people with their hands in the air, random fucking DJ, licking tunes and stuff. So provide more value. If you have something, say it. Don't be trying to get more money out of them, because if you've got it and they figure out that you might have that and you're just trying to get money out of them, you're going to come across as disingenuous and they're probably not going to work with you again. So be honest, be truthful, be like, got this, we might not need to film that, I can send you some examples of what it would look like. If you don't like it, we can film, but if not, we can use it in the final product and that sort of stuff.
It'd be a case of find out with him, right, when are you next doing a big gig? Okay, March the 20th or something, for example. Okay, Jack, you're free then and then I would then cover obviously transport costs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That could be sort of arranged, but
that's another big one, transport costs. If you are not filming in the same city or location and it requires getting a train, getting the car, taking some sort of public transportation or car or something, make sure they cover costs. As a videographer, you should never cover your own travel. You should never do that. That client should cover your travel for you because, well, it's on them to cover your travel for you. Sometimes clients will cover your food and stuff, but most of the time you're going to have to cover that yourself. Never cover your own travel as a videographer or video editor or photographer. They should cover your travel if you're filming in another city or something. Make sure you establish that in this meeting that you have with the client.
One-off.
So this is ideally, if it goes well, it'll be a series. It'll be sort of a continuation. Like, okay, next DJ is this, next DJ, and it'll just be a continuation. But
okay, yeah.
You have to start somewhere, don't you? So yeah, first one is just like a test to see how it goes.
Here I'm asking another key question. I'm asking them if this is a long-term project. You know, is this just going to be a one-off, or is there more room for like maybe getting them on a retainer or something? You know, maybe I can get more money out of them. It sounds a little bit disingenuous, but understand, is this a valuable project that I want to invest my time into? Maybe you're more busy and stuff. Maybe you're more experienced videographer and you've got more clients lined up. Is this worth my time? Is this a one-off, a long-term project, recurring client sort of stuff? So in this case, it was, and it was worth my time, and it was a high budget.
How I would judge success would be, but I'm guessing it's like different people's perceptions and how well it does online sort of thing,
Yeah.
and then see what it goes from there.
I mean, you've just answered my next question. How would you measure the success of the video?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's
So
a difficult one, isn't it, online? Like, you can't.
Okay, so here he's telling me he's wanting to be a long-term one, but it depends on how well it's received and stuff, how well I edit it. So most of the time it'll come down to you. You've got to deliver a good deliverable to the client. If they're on the fence about making this a long-term project, push them over to the long-term projects if it's worth it for them, because they're kind of on the fence. It's better for you, it's better for the client. You know, if they're going to get value out of this, you're going to get more money out of this, and you're going to build a relationship with them. The way of living as a freelance is recurring clients and getting them on retainers and stuff. So if you can make them a good source of income for yourself, then go for it. Here's another key one. You know, this is a very good client. He's asking the questions that I normally would ask, but a good question I always ask is precisely that: how would you measure the success of this video, or you know, whatever I'm making for you? Because if they're going to measure the success of this video on views, you want to have more choppy edits and stuff to actually kind of meet that metric. You don't want to make something for them that is going to a complete flop. You're just not going to have a recurring client because of that. So understand how are they measuring the success of this video? Are they measuring editing style, quality of editing? Are they measuring it on views, likes, engagement, and all that sort of stuff? What are they trying to get out of this video?
You can measure by views, watch time, likes, sales.
Yeah,
and
but
stuff like that.
I mean, for views like that podcast, I got 26 views. So do I consider that successful or not? You know what I mean? It's like, and especially if you're not released regularly, you're fighting against the algorithm. So I don't think that possibly isn't the best way, but I think it's just, if it looks good and it feels like it's not awkward and it looks decent, then I'd say that we can be our own judge of successes, if that makes sense. Our own judges.
Here I'm relating to him as well. You want to relate to him. You're the subject matter expert, but you're also another bloody human being. You don't want to be some sort of robot, some sort of weirdo, you know, relate to them. If you can build a relationship with them, they're more likely to trust you and give you future work. I personally produce a lot of videos and, you know, I don't kind of understand how the metric works and that sort of stuff. Build a relationship with them. Don't just be asking them question after question after question. Relate to them, as you see me do here.
Do you have kind of like a content like idea of what you want to do with it, like where you're going to release it, how you're going to release it?
Another important question I ask here: where are they releasing it? Because if they release, you know, say it's maybe a production for television, your format and how you're going to edit that and the settings you're going to shoot with that is going to be completely different to if you're going to shoot it for YouTube and TikTok, whether it be vertical format or horizontal, all that sort of stuff. Ask them where they're going to release this. If they're looking for short form, kind of like short burst content, you're going to film in probably portrait, but if it's for YouTube or something, landscape. But ask them where they're going to release it, because that's going to affect your editing style, how you shoot it, that sort of stuff. That's a very key question to ask. So previously you actually had a bit of concern why you asking me where I'm going to release and something sort of stuff. I just clarified to it because that's going to affect how I edit, how I shoot it and stuff. So if they have a concern, address it straight away. Don't believe in that, I don't really trust it. It's all about trust. If they have a concern, address it.
You can boost it quite a bit.
Yeah, this is my TikTok account for Cut the Small Talk podcast. So
I'm delivering more value to the client. I'm telling him you can go through and pick out short form content, promote it that way, TikTok, Instagram Reels, all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to send through more examples, send through his TikTok. Maybe if you can do something different, maybe they're not optimizing it correctly for the platform, you can deliver more value and stuff. I check out his TikTok and he's already optimizing it. He knows how to work social media, so I can't deliver any value there. I'm going to try find a different way of delivering more value to them.
Well, because I was tempted to like have an Instagram account, but if it's a lot of like effort compared to if I'm just best focused on.
Again, another concern is not really wanting to post. It's asking you, the subject matter expert, where should I post my videos? Is it worth posting on TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, or just YouTube in general? You have to answer these questions. You have to be armed mentally, you know, be prepared for a lot of them to fire back questions as well. There you go, so he's asking me. You have to come into this with the mentality of you are the subject matter expert. You can't be hiffly-doo-dah. You have to be on the point and on the ball, because as you see right here, he's asking me questions. If I wasn't prepared for this, I'd be like, then you should just post it on TikTok. But since I've actually been doing more work for different types of clients and stuff, I understand, you know, what platforms work and what platforms require a little bit more work.
I mean, the main three that I personally do for what I do as well, like I do my own stuff. I put it on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Instagram Reels.
Okay.
I mean, the
Right.
main one is the reach on TikTok just isn't comparable to YouTube Shorts and Instagram. But because they're trying to catch up with TikTok, they're pushing more and more and more views than they normally would.
Oh.
It's still not like you could
Yeah.
like I've had a video blow up to about 500,000 views on TikTok. I wouldn't get that on YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels, but I would have a
Yeah.
fair decent amount of eyeballs on it. It's just more eyeballs.
That's another thing you can take away from my own personal experience. I've had a video to blow up to 500,000 views and on my Instagram and Instagram Reels and TikTok Shorts. So take this away from my personal experience. If they ask you this question, say the reach on TikTok is just ridiculous. You're probably not going to get that reach on YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels. I've personally had a video go up to 500,000 views on TikTok and I posted the same video on Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts and it only got like 10k views. So, you know, TikTok is the platform. If there's talk on time and stuff and they don't really want to upload to all three platforms, tell them which one's worth their time. Provide value again.
Who were you trying to target with?
So here I move on. Target audience. I went over that brief. I was asking them the other questions, but I wanted to dive deep into the target audience. Who is actually trying to target? Because he just said, you know, 18-year-olds. That to me isn't enough information to deliver an actual good video to them. So I dive deeper. Don't be afraid to dive deep into these questions. Ask them questions. The more information you can get out of them, the better. The more knowledge you're going to have and understanding of what you're going to deliver to them and what they're looking for. Because there's nothing worse than getting into editing something for a client, sending it to them and them saying, this isn't what I asked for, we need to redo it or I'm not paying you. There's nothing worse than that. I personally have had that feeling, but I know some other videographers getting started have had that. It's awful. Don't do it. Just understand what they're looking for. And if you're not sure on something, ask them. Ask them. Just ask them. You know, if you don't know, you know, kind of what they're looking for in that aspect, ask them. Ask them. I cannot stress that enough. Ask them what they're looking for because it's about them. They are paying you. You are not paying them. They are paying you. So you are delivering to them. They are the client. So here we just go into detail of target audience he's looking for.
Thinking, do you want to use copyrighted or non-copyrighted? Because on each platform the rules are different. So
Yeah, I sort of yeah, I know YouTube is a ball ache for uploading things like copyright because it'll just be muted, won't it? So I guess
yeah,
it's got to be music that we're allowed to use. So probably not like obviously chart.
Here I asked another question, a very important question. Are you looking to use copyrighted music or non-copyrighted music? Are you looking for a certain genre, style, or is it just kind of like up in the air for me to choose?
what I could do, I could edit the main episode, if you want to call it, to a non-copyrighted track or multiple tracks. But what you can also do, I can also send you one without music, and then you can use a trending sound on TikTok or something as the background music.
Again, I provide more value here, so I talk about the different regulations on different platforms. YouTube, you want to stay right. This is a thing for you guys as well. YouTube is very, very strict on copyright music, like what I'm doing here. If it's not a short, it's going to be flagged. You're not going to be able to monetize that video. You're not going to get a strike or something, but you're going to have eyeballs. The algorithm's going to be watching you. But if it's YouTube Shorts or TikTok or Instagram Reels, you can use copyright music because it's less lenient. If Instagram was to take down all of its videos for copyright, half of its content would be gone. So different platforms have different rules for copyright. Just bear that in mind.
Push that even further, because like I said, each platform's different. Like if Instagram was gonna, you know, take down all the copyright content that's on the platform, they wouldn't have any fucking content. It's all stolen.
Yeah.
And same with TikTok. But with YouTube's a little bit more stingier because obviously it's been around more longer and it's longer form content. But I can do that. That would be a good thing to.
There you go, provide more value. For me actually doing my own TikToks and my other clients' TikToks, I know, you know, different trending sounds and stuff, but those trending sounds are going to be copyrighted. If you were to take that and then put it on YouTube, it's going to get flagged. But on TikTok, it's less lenient. Provide more value and use your experience. Again, provide more value. Take that from me. Use that in your own client calls. Provide kind of video. If they're wanting to promote it in short form content, provide a version with the non-copyrighted music, but also provide something without the copyrighted music, so then they can add their own, you know, they can give it to their social media guy or something if it's a company, and then he can add the trending sound or whatever to it, but he can't do that if he's got music on it. Provide more value, give them a track with non-copyright music and a track without non-copyright music, so they can use that version for short little promotions on Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts and TikTok.
Boost it as well. In terms of other people you want to get on this, is there anyone else you want to?
And then here, this isn't a question I ask all of my clients, but I'm just trying to get an idea if he's wanting to bring anyone else. In short, no, it's just going to be me, him, the DJ, so we can just skip this part.
Yeah.
When do you want to have this kind of wrapped up, if you've got a
So, deadline, here's another important question. Always ask them the deadline. Do not be one of these guys that gets so invested into the project you forget to ask the deadline. I know a couple of videographers have not asked the deadline and they've been editing it and the client's been in their DMs like, yo, where's the video? It's due in like 2 days a day. You've got to send it to our social media guys to get it prepared for launch. And you're like, oh, I need another week to edit it. And then he just goes from there. Always, always, always ask the deadline. This is one of the key questions you have to ask. Ask for the deadline. I cannot stress that enough. You should have that on your list of questions. So I've asked him all of my questions and now we're starting to wrap things up. If I have any more lingering questions or if I'm not sure of anything, I'll ask them now. If not, I'll shake hands and pleasure doing business. But I just want to address some budget. I normally would ask budget within the last couple of minutes. I normally like to discuss budget before I get on a client call with, you know, it's not wasting my time. If you've already talked about budget, then you don't really need to ask it client call. If not, ask them towards the mid part of the client call or towards the back end. You can get an idea, you know, I've asked them all the questions and then you can give them a quote. So if they can send any examples at all, make sure they send it to you because you can then get an idea. They're actually looking for actual physical, visible examples. So with the budget, we already discussed budget before again. Sometimes this one's a little bit of a unique gig. Get them to send through all of the stuff, kind of running length, the total deliverables, how many days or weeks you're going to be shooting this for, and then you can give them a quote based off that. But if it's more rounded, you know, maybe they're looking for like a 2-minute or a minute highlight video, then just give them, you have an idea of how long it's going to take you to edit and film, then you can just give them a quote right off the bat, and then yeah, so it just depends on the actual gig before you give them a budget. Yep, so there we go, that's the end of it really. Just talk a little bit from maybe a couple more minutes and then we end the call, but they're always going to be on tap. If you have any more questions with the client, just send them a message, WhatsApp or Messenger or Instagram, however you're communicating with them, or email or something. The main thing I'm trying to get to you guys is deliver value, number one. Do not be stressed, number two. If you forget, you know, a question that you're going to ask. I came straight from another gig, short video, and then I went on this client call with him and I didn't have my list of questions. I had them in the back of my mind, but I was going off the script a little bit. It's kind of like firing straight away. So if you're unprepared a little bit, don't be stressed. You know, hang on, let me just kind of think, you know, the next question. I forgot on it, you know, I've had a busy day, but most of the time do come prepared with a list of questions. Some questions I like to ask is, number one, when's the deadline? Number two, what's your budget? Number three, are you looking at music you're looking for? Number four, what's the deliverable / running time you're looking for? And that sort of stuff. They're the main ones I like to ask. Apart from that, guys, this has been a quick breakdown. Again, if you want to see this video in its entirety, I'll leave a link to it in the description. Apart from that, this has been me, Jack. If you like what you see here, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to check out some other videos, go check them out. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications every time I upload a new video on the channel. So without further ado, I hope this has been valuable to you guys. So with that being said, I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.